Guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Michelle and this is
Felix Ken.
So guys, today we are going to talk about the kings of Israel. So the kings of Israel were Saul, David, Solomon, Rehoboam, Jeroboam, Ahab, king of Samaria. So guys, today we are going to start with Saul, who was the first king of
Israel.
So, let my brother explain to you guys more about Saul.
Yes.
So you can start.
When Samson died, the people of Israel came and told Samuel they want a king, because they cannot rule themselves without a king. Samuel was their ruler because he was telling them what to do, but they still wanted a king. They went to Samuel and told him, "Samuel, we want a king." And then Samuel thought for a while and prayed to God. God said to them, "Give them what they want." And then Samuel went to search for a king, and then he saw a young boy named Saul, and he told them to come to eat with them. So Saul went and ate with Samuel, and then Samuel said, "You will be the king of Israel." And then Saul was shocked, and then Samuel anointed him. People cheered, and that's how it was just a short one, and that's how it was.
So, first of all, the things that you should know is that Saul was the son of Kish. He was anointed by Prophet Samuel. He had a son called Jonathan. He had a daughter called Michal. So, as for every king has achievements and failures, because everyone has got the good side and the bad side. So the good side of Saul, the achievements that he made in Israel were, firstly, he fought the Amalekites and defeated them. Secondly, he didn't allow the worshipping of idols in Israel. So God doesn't like when people worship idols. So that was a very pleasing thing to God, that he didn't allow any worship of idols. And let's go to the failure. He became impatient at Gilgal and offered a sacrifice which was supposed to be offered by priest Samuel. God was unhappy with him and discontinued his rule in Israel. God sent him to fight the Amalekites and destroy everything, but he spared the king Agag and the fat sheep, lamb, cattle, and calves. Samuel told Saul that obedience was better than sacrifice. After this incident, the Spirit of the Lord left him. Saul became jealous of David. This is after David killed Goliath. The Philistines and the women of Israel praised David more than they praised Saul. He consulted a medium after the death of Samuel when God failed to answer his prayers. 1 Samuel 28, it says, "When he went to the battlefield, his 3 sons were killed. He committed suicide." So, Saul, when he knew that David was going to be anointed as the king of Israel, he didn't want him to rule Israel, because he knew that David was going to be powerful than him, and he did not want to leave his rule for somebody else. So when he did not want David to rule, he just wanted to kill David. And then God, I think, in my perspective, I know that God is the one who opened Jonathan's heart so that he can go to save David. So he saved David, and that's when if he didn't save David, David would have been killed, and there would have been no, like, the second ruler of Israel. So, let's go to David's story. So, my brother is going to start with David's story. He's going to just say a short, like, points that he knows,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about his failures and achievements as of Saul.
David was a young boy, was the son of Jesse. He was a shepherd. He had brothers too. He was just a shepherd, and then one day God called Samuel and told him, there is a man who lived in Bethlehem. He had sons. He has sons, and his name is Jesse. Go there. I want to choose a king for Israel. And then Samuel obeyed the God. And then Samuel went to the house of Jesse and knocked. He looked at all of the sons and said, This is the one. But God said, that is not the one. He has a young son. And then Samuel said, is this all of your sons? And then Jesse said, no, there is one tending the sheep. And then Samuel said, go and call him. And then Jesse told his firstborn to go and call David. And then the firstborn went and called David and said, the firstborn said, David, come here. Father is calling you. And then David went. And then King Samuel, sorry for the confusion, Prophet Samuel anointed David because David was the right king of Israel.
And was also the second king of Israel. So, first thing that David did bad. You guys, just take a guess. This is something that David did bad. First thing, it says, the seventh commandment say, you should not commit adultery. But David committed adultery with Bathsheba, so he broke the seventh commandment. And he ordered Uri to be killed, and so he broke the sixth commandment. He coveted Uri's wife, and Prophet Nathan rebuked him, so he broke the 10th commandment.
Let me tell you something. Even David committed a sin because Bathsheba was a wife of another
man.
Yes. So he committed another sin.
So David broke 3 commandments. But as we said before, everyone has got a good and a bad side. So let's go to the good side of David. And these are the achievements. So he was very courageous, for he killed a lion and a bear using his hands. Like, who will dare do that? Just kill a lion with your bare hands.
Yeah.
That's so scary, even if I can imagine right now. And secondly, he fought Goliath, the Philistine giant who had challenged the Israelites for a long time. Like, when you just see the movie and you see the giant, you are like already afraid, like from where you are sitting, and then you imagine that little boy killing
even
a
you can
big giant.
I imagine if it could be me, I could have trembled with fear. Even I could have run away.
If I was me, I would have just disappeared from there. I would have just wished like the ground would swallow me alive. But trust God, He gave David the courage to fight with Goliath. So I wonder why some people don't trust in God. So wherever you are now, if you don't trust in God, you should just imagine like, how did David like manage to fight alone with his bare hands? How did King Saul like get the power like to fight the Amalekites. Just imagine. And how did Samson manage to have the strength that he was given? So when David killed Goliath using a sling and a stone, he became very famous. He fought against the Philistines, Amalekites, Ammonites, and Syrians. David captured Jerusalem from the Jebusites and named it David's city. He captured and brought back the Ark of the Covenant, making Jerusalem the center of worship. David danced for the Lord until his clothes fell off when the covenant box was being brought to Jerusalem. So, this point is not like mostly told in some of the stories, but when he danced until his clothes fell off, I think one of his wife was very mad at him. He was like, how could you dance for God until your clothes fall off? It was like embarrassing like one of his wives. So just imagine someone dancing until he remains with nothing, just as he was born. He united all the 12 tribes of Israel, making Jerusalem the capital city. He was a talented harpist. He played the harp for King Saul. So, when King Saul felt like he was being tormented by the evil spirits, he ordered David to come and play for him with the harp. So guys, those are just few points of his achievements, but David has got so many achievements.
When David played the harp, the spirit left immediately.
The evil spirit.
Yes, it left immediately. So that means God was with David when he was playing the harp.
Yes. Oh, you guys, let's go to Solomon.
Yes.
The one who married like
1,000 wives.
No, he had 700. I think he had 700 concubines and 300 wives. You guys, if we have got it wrong,
yes,
just feel free to tell us.
Yes.
But if you add it, it is 7,000. So Solomon was the son of David and Bathsheba. He was anointed by Prophet Nathan. He was the third king of Israel. When God asked him what he wanted, he asked for wisdom, and God gave him riches as well. He was visited by Queen of Sheba. So, first of all, King Solomon had many foreign wives, like he was marrying just the whole world. Mm-hmm. He worshipped idols because of his many idol worshippers' wives. God was unhappy with him. So Solomon worshipped idols because of his many idol worshippers' wives. So he had some of achievements too. Excuse me. I feel someone sleepy. He judged a difficult case between two women. So this is one of his achievements. You guys, if you've heard the story about how two women were fighting for one baby, and one of the women said like the baby should be cut in half so that they can have half parts of the baby, but the real mother did not want the baby to be cut in half, so he just wanted his baby to live. That's when Solomon saw that the rightful mother was the one who did not want the baby to be harmed. So you guys, you should have that kind of love, not because, we should have this open love in our hearts, not being just cruel. Because just imagine if you are the mom, how would you feel like your child wants to be cut in half?
But there's one thing that Solomon did that pleased the Lord, because he he finished the temple that David wanted him to finish. So that thing he pleased God.
Yes. You know, guys, we're not going to talk about all of the achievements because you know Solomon is a wide story, worldwide told story. So
Yes.
let's go to King Ahab, who is the fourth king of
Israel. Hey. He was a bad king because his wife is the one which always tell him what to do, like capture Elijah. Even his wife told him, kill all the priests of Israel, kill all the prophet of Israel. Sorry for the confusion. And then he did it. He did it. Imagine, because his wife was telling him everything to do.
So during Ahab's reign, there was drought in Israel for 3.5 years. God sent Prophet Elijah to perform a miracle on Mount Carmel to prove that Yahweh was the true God. King Ahab ordered all the people of Israel and the 450 prophets of Baal to meet with Elijah on Mount Carmel. Oh, you guys do remember when like the prophets of Baal thought that they were powerful?
Yes.
And then they like were worshipping their idols who aren't powerful to like send fire. But when Elijah talked to God, the fire was sent immediately.
You must pray a short prayer. I had when my teacher was teaching me, he said that long prayers are for people who worship idols. Because their God doesn't even listen to them. So they pray long. Oh, but like those things. But if you pray a short prayer,
that is meaningful.
Yes.
A short prayer, but it's meaningful. The most important things that you want in your life.
Yes.
But not useless things like you're praying like, oh Lord, let me tomorrow to eat
cake,
this and this. You must pray like something that will be with you for a whole lot of time. Because it is said, even maybe if you want to help the homeless out there, this is just a story that me and my brother watched yesterday. You guys go and check out story in English, story for kids, and it's going to just pop out there. The Three Little Fairies, I think that's how it's called. When the three little fairies went through, like they did not know how the world was because they were sent to earth by their mother, the godmother, which is the mother of fairies, to come here to the world. So when they went to work, they did not work hard because they had their powers. So whenever they were sent, they would just use their powers and then appear, just teleport wherever they were sent to. But one day, their powers were taken away. That's when they started to see the true colors of the world, how people are suffering. Even they met they saw how children were being bullied. They met the poor on the road who didn't have food. So, they gave the poor food every day. But one day their godmother appeared and asked them, even if you give this poor man the bread every day, he will just still sleep on the street. So you should give him something that will last him a very long time. Because if you just give him the bread, he will eat today and he will still sleep on the streets and tomorrow he will be hungry. So you should give him something that will make him to just have a long life of where he can live just a peaceful, happy life, but not just giving him bread. But you can also help the poor by awarding them with a place where they can sleep for the night. Because just imagine sleeping in that cold streets.
Yes.
If you are you, I don't say it is bad giving them things like food, but you should just if you've got the chance and if you got the income, you should just help them.
And even those people who are who fear, even those people who are afraid, you should give them courage.
Yes.
So that they can fight for themselves. Because one day you cannot know if another can come, another. That's
Because even a child, even if a child is being bullied now, and then you go and help him, you know, if you help him and he's still afraid, one day if even other bullies come, he will just still be afraid. So you should like teach him how to stand for himself.
Yes.
So because maybe if one day he's bullied and then no one shows up to help him.
Yes. Now let us go on with the story of Ahab.
Yes. So Ahab was the son of Omri, or Omri for some of you. He ruled Samaria for 22 years. He sinned against the Lord more than any of his predecessors. God sent Prophet Elijah to warn him. Jezebel was the wife of King Ahab. So Jezebel was the one like who told him like, you should do this and that. You know how some wives are, they just like want to rule over their husbands.
Yes. Even it's called who? Jezebel told his husband that to kill all the prophets of Israel. And then his husband just listened. Because he loved his wife, he just listened. Even if you love your wife, there's something that you must not do, like kill the prophet. You must choose
your medulla oblongata careful.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you guys, he too, after my brother has told some of the failures.
Yes.
He didn't have like, I don't know his achievements because I've never heard of one achievement that he made.
Yes.
But if he had one, then well and good. But he like broke many commandments. The 9th commandment, the 10th commandment, the 6th commandment, and the 2nd commandment. So you guys, see you in the next video where we're going to talk about the next topic. Maybe we're going to talk about the prophets of Israel, or maybe just all the prophets.
Yes.
So guys, see you in on the next video.
Right.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and show a deal someday.